Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to Engineering Adda. So in the previous video, we have discussed how we can carry out the data binding in Angular and how we can dynamically call our data in Angular. In this video, I'm going to describe what is ngFor and how we can use it. So ngFor is nothing but it is a directive in Angular. It is a pre-built directive in Angular and it is working similarly how the for loop is working. So if you want to iterate the elements from a list of elements, then you can use ngFor in Angular. So let's get started for that. So first of all, let me go to the Visual Studio Code and here let me try to create one component. Okay, so let's say I'm going to create a component called user. So ng generate component user. Okay, and then we'll try to create one user entity class, and then after that we'll create one list of users, and then from thereafter we'll use ngFor to iterate from that list. Okay, so we have created the user component here. So first of all, let me try to create one entity class called user.ts. So user.ts, and let me try to create the class here. Export class, let's say user, and let me try to create some instance variable here. Let's say id of number type. uh, let's say first name. Okay, and it is of a string type. Let me try to create the last name and all. So let me try to, yeah, last name, email, something like that. Okay, so I'm just keeping this for id, first name, last name, and email. Okay, and let me try to resolve these errors. Okay, so we have created this entity class. Now let me go to the user component.ts file and let me try to create one variable called users. Okay, so let's say users, and the variable if is of any type. Okay, now let me try to create the constructor here. Okay, and let me try to remove this. And what we are going to do, we are just going to use this list. This variable users is nothing but it is containing a list of users here. So how we can do that? So here we are just providing the list of users. So let me try to do that. Let's say I'm going to create three users list. Let's say I'm going to create the three users here. So the first one is, let's say the ID is one, name is this John Day. Okay, and sorry, we have the first name and the last name, right? So let's say the first name is this, last name is Doe. Okay, last name, and then we have what is that? It was email, right? So let me create the email, and let's say email is johndoe@gmail.com. Now let me try to copy this and then create the second object and the third one. Let me try to change the ID and the name. So let's say ID is 2, name is, let's say, Rahul, and last name is Singh. Okay, and then let me try to change the mail as well. So let's say Rahul.Singh, and let me try to create the third object which is ID is 3, first name, let's say it's Naveen, and let's say Naveen Singh, something like that, and change me the name, email, sorry. So Naveen.Singh at the rate gmail.com. So what we did, we created one list of users variable, and inside the constructor we are initializing the user variable, and we are creating the three objects of that. So we have the list of users here. Now let me go to the HTML file, the users HTML, and let me try to remove this first. And in the earlier video we used some table data. Okay, so let me try to go to the my component, and let me try to copy this whole table data. Okay, if you don't have the table data, you can go to the Google and search it out. So what we are going to do, we are just going to simply create a table. So that is what I did in the last video. I just Google it out and then just copy pasted it. So let me try to copy it from here. Now let me go to the user component.html and paste it out here. And it has some static data. Let me try to remove those data here. So let me try to remove this. Now let me try to call the attributes here. So first of all, let me create the headers for the table. So let's say we have the first name ID, first name, last name, and email. Okay, so last name, let me copy this entire row, paste it out, and email. Okay, and what we are going to do, we are just going to use the for loop to iterate through the list of users. So let me try to do that. So here we can use ngFor. So star ngFor, and here what we need to do, we need to uh, create one instance. With the help of that, we'll try to get each object from the list of users. So let the instance be user of users. Okay, and with the help of this, we'll try to call each element, sorry, each attribute of the users object. So let me try to do that. So it is user dot id. Similarly, let me try to copy paste it here. Okay, let me try to change the attributes. So it was first name, last name, and then email. Okay, let me try to change it to email, because our attribute is like camel case. So the first name is in the camel case, last name is also in the camel case, and email is in the small one. So we are accessing from there. So just save it. So what we did, we created one table, and we have created the headers for the table. And here what we did, we have just used the ngFor to get each object from the list of the users, and then with the help of that object, we are just populating our data of the user attributes. So that is what we are doing here. Now let me change the table name. Let's say it's a user table. Okay, save it. Okay, so we are good now. So what we did, we created one class called user. First of all, we created one component, user component. We created one class called user.ts, and we have defined some attributes here. And then after that, we have created one variable called users, which is the list, which is having the list of users. And inside the constructor, we just initialize that users variable with the three different user. Okay, so and then after that, we created one table inside the component.html, and then with the help of star ngFor directive, we are calling the we are iterating the users list. Okay, so and after that, with the help of user instance, we are just calling each attribute of the user inside this table. Okay, so that is what we are doing here. Now let me go to the user component.ts and copy this selector, and then just go to the app component.html and then call it here. So just save it. Now let me try to run this application. So it is ngserve minus minus open. Okay, just wait for some time. It will make our application up. So it start building our application. So just wait for a few seconds. Yeah, our application is up. So you can see we have created this user table, and with the help of ngFor, we are able to call the each element of the users list. Okay, so this is about this video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button. and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.